Blighty Boxing, in association with Frank Warren and Queensbury Promotions, here at the Steel City in Sheffield, which of course means the Edwards brothers. First of all, Charlie, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great, thanks. Still training away, trained all through this COVID situation that we've been
Was that in between
under.
putting salt in your girlfriend's coffee?
Yeah, making her breakfast in bed, looking after her. But yeah, I've just been training through, in a good position now, just waiting on a fight date to drop. Not sure if I'm going to be September or October time when the doors open again. So it's just one of them ones, it's just being patient. But I've been in the gym, I've been working, I've been learning most importantly, and I've been getting stronger. So when we do go into training camp, it's just going to be like, I'm only going to need five weeks just to tweak things. I've been back sparring. So it's been a hard time, to say the least, because us as fighters want to be fighting. But for me, I've just had to roll with it. And I've been in these situations before where I've had that inactive year of my career, and so I've been out of the ring now for a year, not in August. But I believe it's done me good, because it's helped me be able to reset myself, to refocus. Most of all, rest my body, my organs. Making that flyweight limit, it did have a real bad impact on my health.
I saw that picture again the other day after the weigh-in. That's horrific.
It was horrific, yeah. So it had a bad impact on my health. So I've allowed my body to rest and recover, and I'm looking forward to going back in now. Got a new promoter, Frank Warren, new chapter, pushing on to become a 2-weight world champion. Got great times ahead, so as you say, you need to be calm before the storm sometimes, and I believe this year's been a nice calm year. Although I've been getting better in the gym, I'm looking forward to coming back on the Showtime and showing people what I've been working on and showing them a different Charlie Edwards.
I'm going to chuck 3 easy questions at you to open up, sort of lob you a few little googlies. First of all, following your experiment last year, do blondes have more fun?
Do blondes have more fun? Well, I certainly had a lot of fun when I was blonde, but no.
You weren't tempted to keep it then?
Do you know what? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed being blonde. I had a good laugh of it, but I don't know. I just kind of resetting myself. You know, I went back to the original. Maybe the peroxide got to my head a little bit, and being world champion, it was a whirlwind experience. Like, you really don't understand how crazy it is to be a nobody in such to an overnight success. And becoming world champion, it brought all the glitz, the glamour, the getting pulled from pillar to post. Being world champion, it was like it clicked.
Public property.
I come public property, and I didn't know how to handle it. And then I dyed my hair blonde, which probably got me more attention and more distractions and more everything. So I just kind of reset myself, wipe myself down, move up a weight, and kind of get back to normality.
Right, second one to lob in your direction. Is it fair when they call you the nice Edwards brother?
It's definitely fair, because me and my brother are like chalk and cheese, and we always have been growing up. I would say I'm the nicer, kind-hearted Edwards brother. I'm sure many other people would, but my brother's the right character, and he has his own kind of little, his own journey and path to go on. So we are, even if you look at our social media channels, you look at both of us and you think, how are you two from the same upbringing? But it is what it is. But yeah, I would say I'm the nicer Edwards brother. And
thirdly, did Dennis McCann beat you up the other day?
No. Dennis is a good talent though, and I'm looking forward to seeing him.
It's his sort of weight you're thinking of going to, isn't it?
I'm looking forward to seeing him progress. He's only 19, coming on 20.
The, little markings under the eye?
Yeah, to be fair, I haven't been sparring for a while. So when you come back to sparring, as all fighters know, you get marked up easy. I've got a winnings head guard, so it pushes up and it becomes like a little, Did
he try his, as he calls it, screw shot backhand on you?
No, to be fair, it was a good spar. He is inexperienced right now as a professional boxer. He really does remind me of me when I was his age, because in my 8th fight I was pushing and I fought Casemiro for a world title, and it made me chuckle and laugh, because when I got out the ring, it reminded me of me at that age, and I was like, he's so hungry, he's so determined, he forces things a little bit here and there, and he's trying so hard all the time. And as you grow as a fighter, you realise that you don't need to try as hard. You can take a little walk away, you can do things to engage different kind of movements, different kind of attacks, and you can counter, you can pull them, make the opponent do what you don't want them to do. And it's all a part of learning. But he is a great talent, and I look forward to seeing him progress through the pro ranks.
No doubt about that. Right, let's get on to the serious business now. Well, so to speak, let's go back a bit. It's like I said to you just before. Remember a documentary a lot of years ago called Trophy Kids? I think that was what it was.
Yeah, it was.
I think it was following 3 young athletes, and you were one of them. And it kind of focused on the relationship between yourself and your father. And what are your memories of that experience of having a camera following you around at the age of 14?
It was great, to be honest, when we was that age. I believe that helped us. Well, helped me. When I say us, Sonny was around the scenes, but that helped me really become like media aware. It helped me develop a mindset that we're not just boxers. We've got to play the media as well. We've got to have this social kind of status, media status, where we are a product. So at a young age of only 14, I realised throughout the filming coming around, I got comfortable in front of the camera. I was easily able to speak, answer questions, and just be me. And that's where I've kind of took that on from another level, where I always just be 100% me. If I ever try to be someone different than me, I come across like an idiot. I've seen that looking back at my pro career, some interviews I've done where I'm trying to be someone else, and it comes across false. So it did kind of like, it's a long development, and it learnt me a hell of a lot with the media world, because when you're growing up as a boxer, you just think boxing all the time. And at age of 14, getting a camera put in front of me, travelling the world with it, and training and stuff, it helped me and got me more experience for when the pros came.
It was quite raw though, wasn't it? I mean, it caught all your emotions.
Oh yeah.
I remember you crying after some tournament in Russia or something. Yeah. And also the focus, probably in an indirect way, the programme was kind of having a pop at the parents, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I mean,
definitely.
How did your dad relate to that? Did he see it for what it was?
Yeah, definitely. He did see it for what it was, but he knew that before he was going into it, and like, he knew the relationship we had. Yeah, as in such, my dad was a pushy parent, but it wasn't like ridiculously pushy where it was abusively pushy, you know. He helped us, and I still say this now, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be a world champion. I wouldn't have the mindset I have, I wouldn't have the work ethic I have, and I wouldn't have ever believed in myself like I did. He actually constructed me and my brother to be successful athletes, and from a young age. Didn't he? Yeah, a lot of time into us. And the reason why he got labelled a pushy parent is because he would do everything by us. Like, he would not just take us down to one boxing club and think, oh, it stops here, I'll just drop him off, come pick him up later, I'm doing my bit. He would always want us to be in the best places at the best time, at the best club, sparring the best fighters, travelling up and down the country, making sure we're at places where we can learn and develop. He never once thought he knew all boxing and only his way was right. He was the one who took us to other people and actually give us that opportunity to learn.
I saw in an interview recently, so I'm not treading on any sensitive territory, I saw an interview where you said you've had a reconciliation with your father. When I used to occasionally bump into you down at West Ham in the early days, your father was very much front and centre of everything. Then you went off to Spain and he kind of never got mentioned again. So you say you've had a reconciliation, that must be a huge
massively.
relief to you all.
Me and my dad have developed now a relationship where he sees me as an adult and he sees me as a grown man, and he's proud of me for what I've achieved on my own. When I went to Spain, it was getting to that point in my career where my dad always still believed that I was like a boy and I couldn't make my decisions, he knew best, which theoretically everything he has said along the way, which I have now realised and made mistakes doing, I always go back and go, do you know what, my dad was right, I should have listened. But at that age, I had to develop my own self, I had to make mistakes myself and learn from my mistakes, sort my mind out, sort my career out, sort where I was training, what I had to do to get to become a world champion. And when I become the world champion, I went back, we sat down, I went, took him the title, and he gave me a big hug, and a tear come to his eye, and he said, "I'm so proud of you, you went and done it." And then he went, albeit you done it the hard way, because we could have got there quicker if I was involved, but you went and done it.
Word then.
Yeah, but you know my dad, he has a laugh, and now he just respects me as a man. Like, I've got a baby on the way with my missus, and he's over the moon. Like, he's there for me more as a dad.
Nice that you can just
now.
enjoy your career now, isn't
Yes.
it? Not worry about the politics of it or anything else.
No, like, I've made my name, I've made my status, I've been a world champion, and I'm going to become another world champion. So I've got the name. I've got a name for these these lightweight fighters to want to fight. I can always be in big fights now. I've got that, you know, like, you get to that certain status and you can be jumping in and out of big fights forevermore. And especially at the lightweights, I've built my profile. So yeah, like, he's relaxed now. He's got his own life. He's doing his own thing, and we speak on the phone a lot. I'm actually going down this weekend to see him. And yeah, we've got a great relationship now, which is I'm really grateful for. And we needed a few years where we didn't probably have the best relationship because I needed to grow, and he realised that. And
you were probably fiercely independent as well, weren't you? So.
Exactly. I'm my own man now. I'm 27. Like, I'm no spring chicken anymore, even though I still look 16. I'm still developing day in, day out, and it was that time where he had to take a step back, and I had to go and make the mistakes for myself and learn.
Around that time, post Trophy Kids, I think I'm right in saying, but from recollection, but you kind of became something of a poster boy for London 2012.
Yeah.
And of course, then you had the awful thing of having been so associated with it, and then not actually taking part in it. How much did that hurt you as a young man? It
was crazy. Off the back of that, off the back of the Trophy Kids, I got a lot of attention. I was like the poster boy for the ABA Championships, GB poster boy at the time, and I was only young, so it put a lot of pressure on me, a hell of a lot of pressure on me. And I thought if I didn't achieve that, I was a failure. And reality was, I was never going to be a failure, because I was always going to go on to achieve bigger and better things. But I was young. I was a young boy. When I got on the GB podium squad, I was 17. Then straight away, I went to the first major tournament, European Senior Elite Championships. I nicked a bronze medal. Like, I couldn't believe it. From 17, just no senior experience, straight to an elite tournament, bronze medal. Everyone going up mad about me. The GB was all like buzzing with me and everything. And the Olympic qualifiers was a year after. And I thought, yeah, I'm going. And reality is, I was very inexperienced. Being only 17. I was going up against men, and I got a bad end of the draw when I went to the qualifiers. I got beat by 2 points by a Bulgarian who went on to win the qualifier. So I drew him first and got put out, and that was my Olympic dream over, and it killed me. It did. I cried my eyes out.
You were so entwined with that build-up, weren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, it was like Jess Ennis for athletics, you for boxing, you know, and it was sort of...
It was crazy, and I think my whole career has been like that. I work hard. I dedicate my whole life. I have ever since I was 11 years of age. I was running at 6 in the morning when I was 14 years of age. Like, I've wanted this for such a long time, and when that Olympic dream ended, it was sad. It was really sad, but I pulled myself together, brushed myself down, and thought, you know what, I ain't gonna stop here. I've come this far. I ain't leaving it this far. Where can I go? And that's when I decided to turn pro. I always knew I was going to be a world champion. I always remember even watching Joe Calzaghe, Jeff Lacey back in the day, watching them and just thinking, I'm going to be a world champion one day. And it played out, and it paid off.
Obviously, you fulfilled your own prophecy, and you became a world champion, a WBC world champion at that. You had that Martinez fight, which you didn't lose. It goes down as an NC. I saw an interview you did with The Athletic, the sports app. It was a very good interview, actually. After the Martinez setback, we'll call it. Seemingly you're a popular boy, and people turned on you. Is that right?
Yeah, it is right. But what do you expect when you're at the top? People love to
Bit of
be with
respect.
you when you're winning though, and as soon as you take a slip, they love to jump on it. Just like Anthony Joshua when he boxed Ruiz the first time round. You see the amount of people that turn on him, and that's the way. That's the fickle world we live in. I'm afraid it's everyone loves a winner, and to be fair, I think people do it subconsciously. They take a disliking to you and they start to give you stick or hate as in such online, and that's not because they hate you, it's because in a backwards way they want you to win. So they're giving you your shit thinking, oh, he needs to get back in it, he needs to sort himself out, this, that and the other, and they jump on the other side, and then when you win again they jump back onto your side. So it's a crazy world we live in.
Must mess with your head.
It did mess with my head massively last year because I didn't experience anything like it. Like when I say when I'm walking the path, I'm learning every day. So becoming a world champion, and with everything that happened, me giving it to my mum and like the public getting behind it, it was a real historic moment, and I got a lot of love for that. And it was so crazy to go from being the people's champ, as people would say to me, to then people saying I'm a fake champion, I'm shit, that he should have never been a world champion, and they just remarked it. But I suppose you say you're only as good as your last fight. People never understood what I had to do to make the weight. I lost 5 kilos the night before the weigh-in at 8 stone. Like, I'm walking around now at like 61 kilos. I had to be 50.8 kilograms on the day of the weigh-in, and I just outgrew the weight. And people don't understand. So
You're saying you struggled with the emotion of the defeat and the online abuse or people turning on you, but that's probably a time when you need the people around you. You took yourself off, didn't you?
Yeah.
Overseas. So
Yeah.
is that something in you? But when it gets like that, you go off on your own. So.
What it was with me is because I've dedicated my life to this, because I'm my hardest critic, so it really ate me up inside. And I've always struggled, even with the Casemiro fight, I struggle when something bad like that happens to me. I've got to get way up. Like, now I've become a public figure, I'll be walking around, people will be stopping me, and it will just be a constant boom, boom, reminder, asking the same questions, I'm answering the same questions, I'm stuck on repeat, I'm like a robot. I'm a nice lad, and I probably give too much people my time at times because I'm just down to earth and humble. I speak to everyone, and I could be like bumping into people literally on the same conversation all day, and it only gets so much you can talk about it, so much you can keep getting reminded of it. I'm like, this is the past now, put it behind me, I want to move forward. But when it's coming here, hitting you everything, it's like a pie in the face every time, and it's mentally challenging. So the way I dealt with it was to kind of get away, clear my own headspace, get away from social media at the time. I did, I went away, sorted myself. Well, to be fair, I fell in a downward spiral at first, and I just ran away from life and pretended nothing was happening. I thought, you know what?
Where were you?
I was in Dubai, I went to Turkey.
So were you propping up bars, alone, drinking on your own?
Not on my own. I went to Dubai with my brother. I went to Turkey with one of my good friends. And then I ended up in Marbella. I've got friends because I lived out there.
So you weren't sort of lonely.
So I weren't lonely on
propping
my
up
own,
the
but it
bars
was more like friends and being around people to forget about the situation. And everyone knows once you've had a few drinks, you don't give a fuck. Sorry about my language. You don't give a fuck about anything. No. You don't care about that. You forget about it. You just live in the present moment. So that's what I got caught up in. It took me about a month or so. Must have been, like, it's embarrassing to say, I must have been sober for about 4 or 5 days in a month. That's embarrassing because I'm an elite athlete and I don't like to promote that because it's terribly wrong. But I just lost my head, and then it come to a day where I think I started to realise and wake up and like, what are you doing, Charlie? Looking at myself in the mirror, I didn't like myself, like put on loads of weight, I weren't training, weren't feeling good about myself. And I went away to a training camp in Cyprus at the time with my friend, a couple of my friends. Started training there, and we got a picture together, and I looked at the picture and I was like,
horrible, that, isn't it?
It's like it was like a smack right across the face, and I was like, oh my god, is that me? Like you don't
get that
see,
all the time,
but you
yeah.
don't see the change because like you're just going from day to day and like it's clicking and it's gone and you don't realise what's actually happening to yourself. And then after that, I just decided, I thought, you know what, I need to sort my life out. And that was last October time. And then from then, I went from that training camp straight to Marbella, up in the mountains on another training camp, and just got back into that kind of training. And that's where I met my missus now.
And you met the mother of your future child.
Exactly, and she was my saving grace at the bottom of the bottom, where I felt like I was useless, no one wanted me because of all this shit I was processing through my mind, reading crap online, feeling bad about myself, knowing about the weight, it killed me, and then I've had to give up my title and not. I'd rather go and fight him again and get knocked out, but reality is, I can't make the weight. So it's like one day, pray to God, it happens again, and the legacy can be in the, and the book can change.
Just to make everyone happy, you go and get yourself hurt and sort of.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like put myself in hospital, like because the day before the weigh-in, the day before, but the night before the weigh-in. I couldn't sleep. I was like an hour of sleep max I had. I kept waking up, tossing and turning, and my body was on that low fat percentage and that low of like water. It was like it was shutting down. It wouldn't let me shut off, and it was.
Why did they let you fight?
No, I know. I was hiding it away from my coach and that, and
Doctors. Huh?
yeah, but let's be real. Like the doctors ain't the best in this sport. You say you're okay, they just go, "Good luck, son." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so when I did meet my missus, I was at my lowest of lows, and she, like I said, she's been a saving grace to me. She really helped me with my mindset. I offloaded so much that I bottled in, because you feel like as a man you can't show weakness in this game. You can't speak out about it. I'm very careful who I say things to. I don't like my business to be out publicly and stuff like that, so I was bottling it up for so long, and she met the right person, and I felt like I could trust her straight away. I felt everything was right with her, and she picked me up when I was at the bottom. And this last year, really from October, I've been training, better in my health, better in my food, resting right. Normally I'd be going from training camp, fight, and then losing my head until I get another fight date and coming back in, like many fighters do. But this time I haven't done that. This solid year has recovered my body, and I'm looking forward now to my next fight to be able to showcase it.
Right, let's pick this up again with Charlie. A little bit of a naughty question I'm going to ask you. You don't have to answer it. Mentally or inside, what do you think when you went through an experience like you did, and then your promotional company signs up the person who beat you? Do you sort of did it just give you a little uncomfortable sort of feeling?
Yeah, it
and
did.
You wonder how long it had been going on for beforehand?
It did really get to me. It really got to me, especially because like before I even had that fight, there was talks about unifications and stuff like that, which all kind of fell out of thing. And then I got matched against Martinez, but he was my mandatory, and I got no qualms in fighting a mandatory when you're world champion. You have to. So my unification didn't fall through. What happened to me and everything, and then even after he failed a clenbuterol minor trace test, then he got signed up. I just laughed, and I just realised boxing's a business. Like, there's no hard feelings. It is what it is.
But you're only human. That sort of thing's going to nag at you a little bit.
Yeah, of course. At the time, it really did. It hurt. It felt like someone stabbed me in the back. But then I calmed down. I reset again, and I thought, you know what? It's business, and I'm not naive to think it. And if anything, it's actually made me realise a lot about the game of boxing, and it has taught me a lot about business terms. And you can't get emotionally attached, and that's for any young fighter coming on the up and coming. Do not get attached. Do not think any promoter, manager, or anyone is your generally friend. It's generally a business. You know, you're in this game to make yourself a living and to make your team a living, and that is the be all and end all. Obviously, with your coach, you have a different bond. Me and my coach, we're like father and son as such, and you might get that with other people along the way, but you can't be naive to think that everyone's got your best interest. in the sport of boxing.
Well, I mean, you know that as much as anybody, because I mean, you've gone through trainers and had to move at the right time for yourself, haven't you? Where, not being horrible, Mayor, you weren't being a priority in one place.
Yeah.
And ego, as much as anything, tells you you're a world championship level fighter, you want to be a priority.
Exactly.
You've got to look out for yourself.
Exactly, you've got to be selfish in this game. The least selfish thing you can do is look after number one. Because if you're taken away from you, you're here, you've been brought in this world on your own and you're taken away from yourself. And that's when a lot of fighters make the mistake, they can stay loyal for too long. You've got to make yourself a priority, you've got to be a happy fighter, and a happy fighter is always a dangerous fighter. If there's something not right outside of the gym, you take that into the gym with you, and that can affect your performance, your career, your whatever. So main thing is to get the right team around you, to feel happy, and if it comes to a stage where you feel like, right, I need more, then go with it.
Let's talk about your new beginning. I suppose we should have guessed it really, but you and Sunshine would sort of run parallel at some point in your career.
Yeah.
It's happened now, and it seems like it's got the feel of an exciting period once we can get going again after this latest.
Definitely, 100%. Like announcing it and that, everything was buzzing, it was all up in the air, it was great. Frank's made me feel really, really wanted. We've got a great contract in front of us, and we've got a good career path, and I'm promised another world title fight in the next 18 months. So it's going to be a nice journey. So me and Sonny have always wanted to fight on the same cards. We've only ever done it once as amateurs. So it's going to be nice to be able to fight on the same card, and who knows? It could be history in the making if me and him both go and win a world title on the same night. For British fighters, I'm not sure if that's British brother fighters. I'm not sure if that's happened. So it's a great journey. It's a new chapter, and it's one I'm really looking forward to. Obviously, this is COVID stuff has put a dampener on it, but as soon as my first fight's announced and I can push on to that, it's everything new. I'm on a new platform in BT Sport. Frank's really excited about working with me. He's made it clear, and he believes I can become a multi-weight world champion. So let's go and do that.
Well, once he gets behind you, you're off and running, aren't you?
Exactly.
There's one thing that's just about crowds and fighting behind closed doors. I wouldn't imagine that it'd be ideal for you to fight behind closed doors, because they'd have to give everyone in the room earmuffs, wouldn't they? Because it's normally just the crowd that drowns out all your racket, isn't it?
Yeah, at least the TV people can just quiet my noise down a little bit. No, yeah, I don't think I will be behind closed doors, if I'm honest.
Have you ever tried to take that out of your game, the noise, the boom boom?
I think I do take it out of it a lot more now. I'm more worse when I'm hitting the bag, but when I'm in a fight, it comes out a lot more now. But it's just a habit, I suppose, has happened over the time.
You ever heard of a fighter called Alan Minter?
Yeah, Boom Boom.
Boom Boom.
Yeah.
He used to do it, and his trainer Bobby Neal had to get it out of him, because you're basically telling your opponent what shots and when you're going to throw it. You know?
Yeah, I suppose so, but it can also put them off. You can also make certain noises when you're not throwing.
Be the Monica Seles of the boxing world.
But yeah.
Last question, because I know everyone really likes an update. Is your ma good at the moment?
Yeah, my mum's good. She's healthy. She went back into hospital not long ago just to get her tube taken, because she's got bad swallow and that, so she has her food and drink through a tube. So she had to go in a few weeks ago to get that done. But yeah, other than that, she's back out. She's back home and she's smiling.
The WBC belt.
Yeah, she's got it up in her bedroom, because they made one for my mum, so she's got one on her trophy cabinet at home, bless her.
Charlie, it's been great doing this with you. Thank you very much for your time.
No worries.
We're looking forward to the debut, mate.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.